Welcome back, everybody. We're going to do some more math today, and we are still, for the rest of this week, we're working on division with decimals. Now, yesterday and on Monday, we looked at dividing when there is a decimal in the dividend, right? So we remembered that in that such a case, we just take that decimal in the dividend, we move it straight up into the quotient, and then we divide as if it's a whole number, right? So today, we are going to now look to see what if there's a decimal in the divisor. Okay, so let me write a problem here to show you. So if I give you a problem like this, it says 117 divided by, let's see, 1.8. Right? Now we've been reviewing and we remember that this second number is the divisor because it's the number we divide by, right? And this says 117 divided by 1.8. And our divisor always goes on the outside of our division bracket with the dividend on the inside and the quotient up on the top, right? So when we have this problem, we're going to set it up and it's going to look like we're doing, so I'm going to write our division bracket here. The divisor always goes on the outside, so 1.8. And the dividend always goes on the inside, right? So this is how we've got this set up right here. Now, before we do any dividing, we want to make sure that we have a whole number in the divisor. It just makes it a lot simpler to find out how many times it fits into our dividend here. So all we're going to do, we are going to take this decimal right here, and we are going to move it until our divisor turns into a whole number. So in this case, I'm going to take that and I'm going to move it to the right one time. And now 1.8 has turned into 18. And I can work with 18 pretty easily. Okay? Now, what that means though, we changed the value of the divisor. We multiplied it by 10. So if we're changing the value of the divisor, if we want to keep the problem the same problem, we need to change the value of the dividend in the same way. So what we're going to do is take that decimal now, that would be right here, because that's where it is at the end of every whole number, and we're going to take that decimal, move it over once. And in this case, because there's nothing here, we're just going to annex equate 0, and it turns into 1,170. Right? So now our problem is, what is 1,170 divided by 18? So let's go through it and let's do that. So ask ourselves the same question we've been asking all week. Does 18 fit into 1? It does not. It fits in 0 times. Does 18 fit into 11? It does not. Does 18 fit into 117? And yes, it does. 18 is smaller than that. So now we have to ask ourselves, how many times? And I don't know off the top of my head. So we're going to take that. We're going to say, all right, so let's try a couple. Let's see what 18 times 5 is. All right, see what we get there. So 8 times 5 is 40. And then 5 times 1 is 5 plus 4 is 9. And that's 90. So it looks like it'll fit in at least once more, maybe twice. So let's see what 18 times 6 is. Okay, 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. So we have 108. It doesn't look like it's going to fit in one more time because 108 plus 18 is going to be bigger than 117. So we found out it's right here. Right? So 18 fits into 117 6 times, which gives us 108. Okay, so let's take that away. Let's go ahead and borrow a number there. 17 subtract 9 is 8, or subtract 8 is 9, excuse me. 0 minus 0 is 0, 1 minus 1 is 0. Bring down our next digit, and we have 90. So we'll ask ourselves that same question we asked earlier. Does 18 fit into 90? And yes, it does, right? Now, how many times? We did that earlier right here, right? 18 times 5 is 90. We found that a second ago. So let's plug it in 5 times. 5 times 18 is 90. We subtract, and we are left with 0. So 117 divided by 1.8 equals 65, which is basically saying that 1.8 is going to fit into 117 65 times. Okay? So let's do another one, and I want you guys to try it this time. So let me erase my board here, and I'll give you another problem to try. Now I want you to set it up. Make sure you use your division bracket. Make sure the divisor is outside the division bracket, the dividend is inside. Okay? So let me give you the problem. 144 divided by 0.9. notice again that the divisor has a decimal. So go ahead and take a minute, pause the video, and write this in your division bracket. Okay, so now you've got it. Let me write it here so you guys can check. So I'm going to put my divisor on the outside. I'm going to put my dividend on the inside. And it should be set up like this. Okay, now, once again, I need you guys to pause the video and take a minute or two on your piece of paper and solve this. Solve this. Go ahead and pause the video now and try that. Okay, so now that you guys have solved it, I'm going to do it here on the board. We're going to do it together. We're going to check, see how we did. Right? So watch carefully, make sure you did it right. If you made a mistake, you can see where we made our mistake, and you can make sure I'm doing it correctly as well. So let's start, and we notice that there is a decimal in the divisor. Right? So I'm going to take that decimal, move it over once, and make it a whole number. So 0.9 turns into 9. I got to do the same thing to the dividend, remember. I changed the divisor by 10 times. I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to take that decimal, and I'm going to move it over once, and annex a 0 to be in that place. So my problem has turned into, what is 1,440 divided by 9? Okay? Let's start dividing. Let's start asking ourselves the questions. Does 9 fit into 1? It does not. 9 is too big, so that fits in 0 times. Does 9 fit into 14? Yes, it does. 9 is smaller than 14. It fits in 1 time. So we're going to go ahead and subtract, making sure we lined up the place values. Borrow there. 14 minus 9 is 5. Bring down our next digit. Does 9 fit into 54? And once again, yes, 9 fits into 54. It fits into 54 6 times. 6 times 9 is 54. We subtract, we're left with 0. Now, we've still got a 0 right here, right? We haven't done anything with this 0 in our dividend, but we've got nothing left here. So when that's the case, we are just going to take this last 0 right here, and it actually comes straight up into our quotient as well. So the answer is 160. 144 divided by 0.9 equals 160. Hopefully you guys got that. If you didn't, that's okay. We're going to keep trying. I've got an assignment for you where you get to keep practicing. Okay? So you guys are doing awesome. Keep it up. This is good. This is fun stuff. You're going to be using a lot of this forever. So thank you guys so much. Yeah, that'll be it. Have a good day.